of what I'm talking about. So I have 17 minus 8. Our strategy is going to be the same as we do for our smaller numbers. You're going to take the small number plus blank equals the big number. So we've already done this before with like 10 minus 5. You take 5 plus something equals 10, and then it just pops out at you. It's 5. These ones take a little bit longer to pop out because we're just dealing with bigger numbers, but it will start to be super easy for you. Just not yet, right? It's going to be a little tricky for just a little while. We take the small number plus blank equals the big number. And now you're going to go to what you know. Well, I know 8 plus 8 is 16, so 8 plus 9 is 17. Or you might think 8 plus 10 is 18, so I go back 1. Whatever works for you is how you're going to solve it. And if I have 10 kids, they might solve it in 5 different ways. Same problem, 10 kids might solve it and choose different strategies. So with practice, you're going to choose what works for you. Does that make sense to you?
Okay.
Okay, so that is one type of problem. The other type of problem is when something just pops out at me and I go, oh my gosh, that's so easy. When I have a group of 10, I'm basically just going to be dropping this and my answer pops out at me that it's just 6 because I'm dropping one group of 10. Does that make sense to you?
You were a bit glitchy.
So this is 16 minus 10. If I just take away the 10, because that's all taking away a 10 is, I just basically drop the tens place and my answer is 6. So anytime I see a minus 10 and I'm working with a 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, I can see that basically all that's going to be left is
Then you drop the 1.
Yep, exactly. So that's the second type of problem. The third type of problem is when we use a group of 10, but it's not exactly a 10. So for example, 16 minus 11. I know that 11 is next to 10, so it's going to be easy for me to just drop this and then just go back one more. Does that make sense to you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
A little bit.
So I know that I'm basically going to split this into minus 10 and then minus one more. So this would be my minus 10. I would get rid of this, so that would get me to 6. And then I'm just going to go back one more because I have one left over. It's going to bring me to 5.
Okay.
18 minus 11, I'm going to go down 10, which gives me 8. And then I'm going to go back one more. Let me know if that's kind of making sense to you.
Kind of.
Okay, so far we have 2 types of problems. We have using a minus 10, and we have small number plus blank equals big number. Now, you can do that same technique for this. You could say 16 minus 10. Small number plus blank equals big number, and that is great. Like, that'll work for sure. But just dropping that ones unit is super easy for me. Or the tens unit, sorry. So whatever makes sense to you, that's what you should do. The third type of problem that we might have is something that I call near next door neighbors. So I could see if I have 20 minus 18, 18 is pretty close to 20 on the number line. How close is it?
20 and 18.
Yeah.
They're only like 2 away.
That's it. What about 16 minus 14?
16 minus 14 is 2.
Yeah. So if they're sort of
Really?
close to each other, you could say, hey, wait, that looks like a near double, but it's not quite a near double. It's a near double. So we can do it that way. You could still do small number plus blank equals big number, but it's just not worth that effort. Instead, we could just see, oh, that's so close to each other on the number line. But you can use the small number plus blank equals the big number for all of these.
Okay.
All right, the fourth type of problem is when my ones unit here is the same as what I'm subtracting. If I have 18 minus 8, I know that the ones goes away, but it doesn't really go away. It turns into a 0. So 18 minus 8 is 10. 19 minus 9 is 10. 14 minus 4 is 10. 13 minus 3 is 10. 16 minus 6 is 10. So do you see I could still use my small number plus blank equals big number, but I don't have to. I can find a better way to solve the problem. And this one is just going to pop out at you even quicker. You don't even have to do the work of doing, let me turn it around, small number plus blank equals big number. But you can. Does that make sense? Kind of? Okay,
That makes sense.
awesome. So for homework, I want you to also write these index cards ones down. And we are going to do, we're going to practice them first. So 18 minus 8, 12 minus 8, and 17 minus 10. So that's one of each problem. Oh, there we go. So I want you to try to solve these and tell me what the answers are as soon as you solve it. And I will stop the video.
Minus 8 is